This week is a continuation of last week's episode, where Hart Jordan harvested a nice whitetail buck. Let's recap some of those scenes. Hart and Cade glassed a mature buck right as the sun was going down. The next morning, they hiked in and set up where they had a good view of the creek bottom. After glassing, a buck appeared out of the flats and started moving down the bottoms, looking for does. Elk, pronghorn, and mule deer also inhabit this wide-open piece of HuntForeverWest country. A young muley buck is out cruising for does and walks right up on our hunters. Later that morning, the buck Hart glassed earlier comes back down the bottoms. He drops into a little draw off the creek bottom and never emerges. Hart makes the stalk and finds this buck bedded in the draw. Attempts to get the buck to stand were futile, so Hart found a small opening through the grass and sets up for the shot.
Going down. Good job, man.
He's a pretty nice little buck.
Congratulations to Hart for his Wyoming whitetail. Outdoorsman's Hunt Stats. This week, we'll follow Cade Powell into eastern Wyoming as he chases spot and stock whitetails. Cade will be packing his Weaver 7mm STW, hiking in Kennetrek Mountain Extremes, and glassing for game with his Brunton Epics. After taking care of Hart's deer, our hunters move to another creek bottom. They get to a nice funnel and set up to glass. It's the middle of November and the rut is on. It's no surprise when Cade finds a buck and several does a mile off the creek out in the wheatgrass on the high plains. As Cade and Hart are strategizing how to close the distance on this buck, a couple lovely ladies are out for a stroll down the creek bottom. Rather than let them get too close and spook towards the buck, Cade gets their attention.
Got these deer out in the field in front of us. It's old CRP type stuff, and we didn't want those that were walking up the creek bottom behind us to go out here and blow them out, so we got their attention and sent them the other way. Now we're going to see what these deer are doing.
After continually glassing, Cade finds over a dozen deer, including several bucks. With nothing but sparse grass for cover, Cade and Hart are at a stalemate.
What do you do? I don't know. Pretty good buck.
Got about 8 or 9 deer in there, between 1,000 and 1,300 yards. Can see 3 bucks, maybe 4. We think the one's a shooter, but you can see what the country's like, so we're just waiting for them to make a mistake and get in a position where we can bust a move on them.
Hopefully today.
Yeah, hopefully today. But that's why we call it HuntForeverWest. Great big wide open spaces, even when we're chasing western Wyoming whitetails. Excuse me, eastern Wyoming whitetails. Don't go anywhere, they're gonna make a mistake.
Several hours later, it looks like the deer will stay out on the plains all day, so Cade takes the chase to them.
Got him at 600. May have to pull out the waterproof gloves and crawl. Get a little closer.
Oh, I think that's that little buck. That's a little buck.
Little buck.
Deer materialize all throughout their stalk as they get up to feed or change bedding positions. As if trying to get within range of these deer while crawling and packing camera gear isn't tough enough, a herd of pronghorn get out of their beds behind a little swell and begin feeding towards the old homestead. Cade gets within 300 yards of the old homestead when the mature buck he glassed several hours earlier appears from a small depression. It doesn't take Cade long to decide this is a mature buck for the area, one he will be happy to harvest if given the chance. Many does are up feeding, and Cade knows if he'll just be patient, this buck will make a mistake. He comes out from hiding behind the homestead and works his way over to refresh a little scrape. Just for perspective, the camera tripod is almost fully extended to be able to see the tops of these deer through the grass. Hart has the flip-out screen on the camera pointed back toward the ground so he can stay hidden and watch. Most of the time, Cade can only see the heads and necks. He is kneeling up with his Weaver rifle on his shooting sticks. First opportunity he gets to make a shot through an opening in the grass, he'll take.
Sounded solid. Is that him running?
Yep.
The shot sounded solid. The buck never flagged and couldn't keep up with the other deer. Cade decides to sit tight for a few minutes before getting on the blood trail. Within a minute of shooting this buck, one of the younger bucks assumes dominance and begins chasing does through a herd of pronghorn. Cade's buck barely made it over the hill before expiring.
And what a beautiful deer. You know, nice 4x4 eastern Wyoming whitetail. Good times, good critters, good friends. That's what we're all about here at Hunt Forever West.
Hunt Forever West is presented by Crumholes Productions. Drop us a line at www.huntforeverwest.com. Hunt Forever West. Good country, good critters, and good friends. For our Weaver shot of the week, let's watch both Hart's and Cade's shot.
Going down.
Ah!